Hello and welcome to 5 Draft School of Motoring. It's Mohammed. I hope you guys are doing great. This is another real test video for one of my learners. Unfortunately, they didn't pass. The test was taken at Thornbury Test Centre and the time of the test was 10:14. Learner got 2 serious mistakes. Later on in this video, we'll be looking at those mistakes and we'll be talking about how could the learner avoid those mistakes. Let's watch the test video then. Okay, the test is started and they've moved off. At the end of this road, they'll be turning right. And remember, speed limit will be mentioned at the top left corner. So after taking this right turn, they'll be coming up to the roundabout. That's where they'll be taking a third exit. When you take third exit, try and stay in the left lane, because from the left lane you can also turn right at the next set of traffic lights. That's where this learner will be going, as you can see the road marking. Unless examiner tells you to stay in the right lane, you should always be in the left lane. And now ahead, speed limit will be 30 miles an hour. Because learner took the left lane before the traffic light, so they need to be in the left lane after the traffic light as well. And then they'll take second lane from the left, which says local traffic. And then they're going to follow this bend round. And now they are heading towards B&Q car park. That's where they're going to practice bay park, forward bay park maneuver they're going to carry out there. So in the car park, I would expect you to be slow. I believe the speed limit in the car park is 10 miles an hour. Here examiner tells learner to park on the left. What learner does here is they drive through the bay. Okay, you should never do that. Examiner gave the learner benefit of doubt, so probably the learner didn't understand fully. They did the parking okay, but you should never go past the white line in the middle of 2 bays, right? So that's what the learner did. But then what examiner said was that I would like you to carry out the maneuver again. So they're going to pull out from this bay and they're going to do the forward bay park again on the right. Okay, so the bay park seems to be okay. Now, once the bay park is done, what they're going to do is they're going to reverse to the left and leave the car park. So I think learner got away there with a minor mistake probably, but you should never go past the end of the bay to go into the next bay. Now here is a little bit strange. You can see the road marking. It's like you're driving in the Europe. Okay, it's a bit funny, but you need to keep an eye on this road marking. You have to be on the right hand side to follow the road ahead rather than the left hand side, which is normally the case. Now here is going to be one-way system. So you have to position to the right to take this right turn. Again, learner stays a bit to the left, which is not quite the best thing, but again, they didn't obstruct anyone, so you were all right. At the end of this road, they'll be turning left, and again, speed limit will be 30 miles an hour. These road works, you need to be careful because you may have to be slightly in the right lane. And then they'll take the next road on the left, and the speed limit here will be 20 miles an hour. And now learner will be told to pull up on the left somewhere safe just before that silver car. This is where the independent driving will start. Sometimes from here they can ask you to follow signs, sometimes you may follow sat-nav. So the learner had to follow sat-nav from this point. And the learner will move off again. At the end of this road, learner will be turning right. And the speed limit on the main road is 30 miles an hour. Further ahead, it's going to be a new lane, as you can see now. So ideally, you should check center mirror, left mirror, and obviously signal and get back into the left lane, because this is the lane you should be driving in. And if you are going towards Leeds, which is second exit of this, that is third exit at the next roundabout, which is coming up. For that, what you need to do is you have to move into the middle lane like that learner did. But if you're taking first and second exit, you have to be in the left lane. As you can see the road marking on the floor. Towards Leeds, you should take the middle lane. In this roundabout, learners do fail because the road marking can be slightly confusing here. So the best thing here to remember is soon after that second exit, you have to get right close to the curb, which you can see now. And then obviously we'll check center mirror, left mirror, and signal left. Further ahead, the speed limit will change to 70 miles an hour. It's a dual carriageway, so you've seen the national speed limit sign. I'll try and make a video on that roundabout, which this learner has just done. She was absolutely fine on that roundabout, but just because we have practiced that before, so the learner didn't struggle. But if you are not aware of the area, you can be a bit confused with the road marking. And the speed limit ahead is 60 miles an hour. Now they're going to be heading towards a ring road, which is the exit coming up ahead. Here you can see the sign, so you have to get into the most left lane. Obviously you will check your mirror signal, and you need to make sure if any traffic coming from the left, as you can see this car coming, you've got to give them way, and then look over the shoulder and just enter afterwards when you feel safe. Try not to slow down too much there. Speed limit has changed to 40 miles an hour, and it's 2 lanes. You have to be in the left lane. Now they're coming up to the roundabout. The speed limit has changed back to 30 miles an hour. At this roundabout, learner will be taking second exit, which is slightly to the right, but you need to take the left lane and follow that left lane around. And then where that red car is parked, that's first exit, and the next exit is the second exit. So when following a sat-nav, the sat-nav guided learner to take the third exit at the roundabout coming up ahead, but learner stayed in the left lane and they took the second exit, which was okay. Anyways, the speed limit has changed back to 40 miles an hour before the last roundabout, just after the last roundabout, sorry. So the learner was going straight ahead and they went in the wrong direction, but then again examiner guided them and they're going to take a right turn at the next traffic light and they'll get back onto that route again. The speed limit is still 40 miles an hour when you take this right turn. Looks a bit confusing. It's a build-up area, there's no speed sign, so I'm assuming it'll be 40 miles an hour. They'll be asked to pull up on the left somewhere safe here. But I don't think you can go more than 30 miles an hour on this road. They've moved off again, and then they'll follow the road ahead of this traffic light, and then they'll pull up on the left just before that 50 miles an hour sign. This is where learner picked up a first serious mistake. So when they moved off, a slight uphill, so they didn't get too high enough by Midpoint, and they rolled fair bit, as you can see. If it's just a slight roll back, they'll be all right, but they roll back quite a bit before they actually realized. Anyways, they've moved off again. So this was the first serious mistake. And the speed limit is 50 miles an hour now. And the speed limit will change to 40 miles an hour again. And learner will be taking next road on the right towards Pudsey. So there's a separate lane for you to go into, as you can see the road marking. So you have to get into the middle lane, and obviously you have to wait for the oncoming traffic. The speed limit will be 30 miles an hour on the new road. So sign is a bit twisted. You can probably see on the left hand side, but it is 30 miles an hour road. This is the road where learner made a second serious mistake. So after this bend, there's uphill. So the learner kept driving in third gear. They slowed down all the way to 8 and 9 miles an hour before they realized that they need to lower the gear. So this is when their speed dropped to, as I said, about 8. You can see how slow they are going, 8, 9 miles an hour. Then learner realizes they're too slow. They caused obstruction behind and people were queuing. So that was the second serious mistake, for driving too slow on a 30 miles an hour. I agree with that, definitely. I mean, learner should have been going a lot faster than that. If it's uphill and your car is struggling, just lower your gear, which learner didn't, and unfortunately picked up a second mistake. Now they'll be taking a next road on the right. And now learner will be told to take the next road on the left, and the speed limit on the new road is 20 miles an hour. You can see on the floor as well, and there are signs also. Further ahead, learner will be told to pull up on the left somewhere safe. And after they've parked, the examiner is going to ask learner to move off again when it's safe to do so. At the end of this road, learner will be turning right. And at the end of the road, learner will be turning left, and the speed limit has changed back to 30 miles an hour. So there's a temporary sign for priority, so the learner had priority there. I think the road works have finished now there, but roughly on this road, sat-nav driving ended. And then further down on this road, the learner was asked to follow the signs towards Bradford, because examiner was giving them directions as normal after that point. Remember, sat-nav can finish anytime. It doesn't have to be exactly the same location. So now they're going to be going towards Bradford, and if you see the sign on the left, so it's a left turn, and the speed limit will be 40 miles an hour. So there's a little slip road on the left. I've paused the video, you can see this is where the learner should be going, and learner missed it, and they are going straight. Again, they didn't do anything serious or dangerous, so it was fine. So here, learner kept going in the wrong direction. again. So now here they should have gone right towards Bradford, but they didn't, and they went wrong again. Again, it's not a problem as long as it's done safely. And on the next go, they're going to go around that roundabout again, and they're going to head towards Bradford. As you can see, finally learner takes the right direction. And then further ahead, the test center is coming up, as you know. And again, it was not the best result. The speed limit changes to 30 miles an hour. So learner could have done a bit better than this. At this traffic light, they'll be turning left, and then they'll stay to the right to turn right at the roundabout to take a third exit. Speed limit is 10 miles an hour now. Coming back to the mistakes, again, learner, when they slowed down, they should have lowered the gear so the car is not struggling. And when they moved off from stationary position, they should have get to the higher bite and make sure they're in gear as well, and they wouldn't roll back. Anyways, they're in the test center. It's a shame that learner didn't pass, but I'm sure overall drive wasn't too bad. I'm sure learner will pass next time. And just that building opposite is the test center, and learner will just be pulling up into one of the bays right opposite. Again, as I said, it's a fail unfortunately, but I hope this video was useful for you guys. Thanks for watching.